Hi, this GoFundMe is about two dogs and a girl. I'm the girl. My name is Lydia Crabtree, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm an author, advocate, and minister, and you can call me Dia. Everybody does. We're having this GoFundMe because I pass out. I pass out a lot. In fact, before I was diagnosed, I was passing out 10 to 15 times a day. Laugh and I would pass out. Cough and I would pass out. Go from sitting to standing and I would pass out. I passed out all the time and so much that eventually I was sent to Vanderbilt University, where I was diagnosed with Neurocardiogenic Syncope, a rare genetic heart condition. And eventually I would also be diagnosed with Mast Cell Activation Disorder. When I originally went to Vanderbilt, they told me that there were no medical interventions that could help me. There were no prescriptions and there were no medical procedures they could do that would fix my passing out. So they gave me this advice. They told me to get a helmet for when I fell, to get a life alert system to notify people when I fell, and, well, good luck. What I want you to think about what I just told you is how restricting that is on adult life. No more driving. No more going to the store by yourself because what if you pass out? In fact, having a spouse that's afraid to leave you alone in a home because you might pass out and no one would be there to help you. These are the things that I want you to remember as we move forward through this video. I hope I don't strike you as the person who takes this kind of thing lying down. And I didn't. I started looking immediately for a solution. And I turned to service animals. I started looking into getting one and learned quickly that they were $10,000 to start. Further, there were all kinds of programs for the blind, the veterans, the nobly challenged, autistic, diabetic. But for a weird girl with a strange heart condition no one had ever heard of and few people understood, there was no such program. That's when I realized that if I couldn't afford to purchase a service animal outright, I might be able to train one. After all, I raised and trained bird dogs with my grandfather growing up. So I started looking for a puppy, and eventually, after many puppy interviews, I found Alice, a short-haired lab mix that we rescued. She was 6 months old. Alice turned out to be one in a million. She quickly took to basic obedience and had an innate ability to alert me before I had an episode. Suddenly driving, I was doing that again. I was traveling. I published a book and went on airplanes, and Alice took it all in stride without the normal intense training that most service animals have to go through. Alice innately alerted to diabetics. She was my companion and my friend, and she was why I had independence for 12 years. And this GoFundMe is not about Alice, because Alice died in September of 2020. And as I held her and let her leave this world, I was thankful for all of the independence that she had given me. After Alice died, I took a turn for the worst. I began to pass out when I bent over to pick up pens. And although now there was medical intervention in the form of prescriptions I was taking 3 times a day, I was at the max level of those prescriptions. I was having dizzy spells 3 to 5 times a day and completely passing out 3 to 5 times a week. And now I didn't have Alice. The prescriptions make it easier for me to be independent. But the fact is, Vanderbilt has told us that as I get older in age, my condition is going to continue to get worse. And the not being able to bend over to pick up a drop pen is just the beginning. So here we are again, looking for an alternative to having to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for a service animal. And that's when my husband let me in on a little secret. He'd been saving money and decided we should purchase a Golden Doodle. These dogs are highly sought after as service animals for their intelligence, loyalty, and compassion. And after interviewing breeders and puppy picking, we finally came home with Cass, whom you can hear playing in the background. And with Cass happily playing in the background, now you know what this GoFundMe is for. You see, Cass is 13 weeks old and not necessarily innate like Alice had been at 6 months. And I'm a little bit in over my head. And luckily for me, there are now options in training dogs for service animals. And one of those options is to work with an individual trainer. I've been lucky enough to secure the services of Dog Training Elite. Your 1, 5, 10, 15, ever how much you can give money is going to go toward making sure that I have my independence for the next 10 to 15 years with Castiel as my service animal right by my side. And we're inviting you, our patrons of any level, to come along with us through blog posts, through video, and through pictures. Come watch the good, the bad, the frustrating, and learn how you take a 13-week-old puppy and turn him into a service animal who serves someone who is otherly disabled. It's an opportunity of a lifetime to experience firsthand this process and see behind the mystery. With your help, Cass can ensure that I never pass out alone again.